Welcome, I'm Julie, and we are going to be creating these earrings called pinwheels. I'm just showing you one of each earring, but you will be making 2 pair of earrings in this kit if you choose. The kit comes with enough to make 2 pairs, one in the cool range and one in the warm range. And so the first thing I'm going to do is go through what is in your kit. So you will get this adorable little, this is a used one, but yours will have the colors in it, all the colors. Pastel palette to make your pieces, and you can use your finger, or I'm going to include some little makeup brushes in there. Then you will have in your kit, I'm going to pour this out, these fun little ear posts, 4 of them with backs on them. And then your pre-cut shapes and these fun little selections of beads to create, and then some fire line. Those are the things that are in your kit right here. And then I'm going to show you what you need to supply. To add more detail to your shrink plastic, here's some color pencils in cool ranges and warm ranges. And then Sharpie markers. And then the molds that we're going to be using are the Shrinkets green mold, the fluted spacer bead mold, and the white mold, the domed mold. And you'll need a heat gun, craft heat gun. And then if you don't want to use your hand to string the fire line through, you can provide a beading needle. Most of you have beading needles. Okay, let's get started. Welcome, I'm Julie, and we are going to be creating these earrings called pinwheels. I'm just showing you one of each earring, but you will be making 2 pair of earrings in this kit if you choose. The kit comes with enough to make 2 pairs, one in the cool range and one in the warm range. And so the first thing I'm going to do is go through what is in your kit. So you will get this adorable little, this is a used one, but yours will have the colors in it, all the colors. Pastel palette to make your pieces, and you can use your finger, or I'm going to include some little makeup brushes in there. Then you will have in your kit, I'm going to pour this out, these fun little ear posts, 4 of them with backs on them. And then your pre-cut shapes and these fun little selections of beads to create, and then some fire line. Those are the things that are in your kit right here. And then I'm going to show you what you need to supply. To add more detail to your shrink plastic, here's some color pencils in cool ranges and warm ranges. And then Sharpie markers. And then the molds that we're going to be using are the Shrinkets green mold, the fluted spacer bead mold, and the white mold, the domed mold. And you'll need a heat gun, craft heat gun. And then if you don't want to use your hand to string the fire line through, you can provide a beading needle. Most of you have beading needles. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to first do the cool one, and I have over here 3 components to do the cool one. And you can do this, mix this up any way you want. This is just how I'm going to be demoing it. I'm on the frosted side, and I'm just coming in here. You can use your little makeup tool if you want. Or you can just dip in with your finger. Notice how I'm using all the different cool shades in this. I'm going to come in with my finger and really rub it in. Then on these, I'm just going to show you that you can, whoops, I went to the shiny side, that you can use your finger or your makeup tool. Or your finger. So notice how I variegated these by blending the colors in the cool palette with it. And then I'm going to do something fun here. I'm going to border this. I'm going to use 3 colors to border it. So watch how I do this to add a border around this edge. I'm going to take my pencil and burnish off a tip on it. And then I'm coming around here. Something got caught on there. It's like I got something on there. I'll get that off in a minute. Don't know what it is. I'm going to come over with this blue, and I'm going to light touch, overlap this, therefore blending these colors as I make the transition around in this. And then I'm coming in with the purple. And this is really dark, so I'm going to go kind of a light pressure. There. And see how I did that variegated feel around there? Now, I did get a little something on that shrink plastic. So I'm coming over here with an X-Acto knife blade. And I'm going to gently see if whatever it is, if I can just scrape it off. I don't know what side it's on. It was on this side, and it was something sticky and gooey. There, and I just gently scrape that off, and then I will just rub that, blend that in. Yay, got that off. An X-Acto knife is a nice way that you can scrape. Notice you're scraping on the surface, you're not slicing. That would cut me. Okay, now on these, I'm just going to do some fun patterns. And let's see. If I'm using a dull pencil and I haven't sharpened it, I find a sharp edge on that pencil and just utilize that. Okay, so now I'm going to take a fine tip Sharpie and come in here and put little, I'm having a hard time getting, I don't know if there's just not enough pigment in there. Never know when something's gonna be too dry to use and you need to go get another pen. There we go. These I chose to make a little bigger dots, and these I'm going to make just coming straight down with my pen. And then a little bigger on these. There. And those are my cool colors. Okay. I might come over here with this one, come in with just a little bit more of this turquoisey color. Add a little bit of green in there. There. So it gives me a little more variety. Now I'm going to come over and do the warm flowers. So I'm again on the frosted side. Got a clean little makeup thing. And I'm going to be, as I said, on the frosted side, I'm blowing off any dust of colors that got on this. You can use your fingers or your tool. Notice this yellow is has a little more green in it than the warmer yellow. There, blending that, blending that, blending that. And then over onto this one, a frosted side, put that pink in there, and come over here with this. And then I can put a little green in this. There we go with that. And then I'm going to come in with my colored pencils, and this is how I'm going to treat this. Skipping every other scallop, I'm putting a starburst shape line out there. And then I'm coming in with pink, 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 pink. And bringing that orange back out. And I'm going to grab one more darker orange color. I see that I want to utilize that. Or I'm going to try this one. It's see if it's dark. Yeah. To outline these circles. Use any colored pencil brand you want. Or, you know, use stencils or whatever you have at home on this. I'm going to reinforce this, blow some of the crumbs off. Come back here and reinforce this dark carnation color. Get this to kind of have a blended look. Blend those in. Okay, then I'm going to come in with a little black dot. I'm using my bigger Sharpie for this. And then I'm going to come in with green. And then on this one here, I'm just going to come in with lines. These are very little Shrinkit pieces. So there we are with our colors, and we are ready to shrink down. I'm going to start with using the fluted spacer bead mold, and I put my base, my pin on my mold, and I'm going to put it in this my little hand forming bowl, because then I can tilt it up and show you while I shrink, holding my heat gun straight down on it, because I like to shrink straight down on it, but when I do it for the camera, you can't see. So when I put it in this bowl, I can lift it up and show you. I shrink with the heat gun about this far away from the piece when I have it on there. And I shrink around the perimeter. So when we're using the fluted spacer bead mold, both the top and the bottom of the mold, the form of the bead are the same, so it doesn't matter if you put the frosted side up or down, so it doesn't matter either way. It's done moving on its own accord, and I put the little top down on it, and I count to 5. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. And we get this beautiful little bead that is variegated in color. See the ombre effect? Really nice, and the same with the border on it. Continuing with the fluted spacer bead mold, I'm going to do the same with this. It doesn't matter if the shiny or the matte down. Done moving on its own accord. And press down. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Cute. Okay, now we're switching over to the white mold. We're just going to gently dome these guys, and we're looking down into the cups of them in our design. So whatever surface, shiny or matte, that I want to see, I will place that so that I can see it when I'm looking down on it. So if I want these, in my case, I want these frosted. So I'm going to put the frosted side up where I can see it. And on these, you hardly need to use the pin at all, because it kind of takes the form of the mold when it's tiny like this and shrinks down. So there we have this one. So cute. And now we're going for the next one. And I'm going to stay, I believe, I'm looking at this, I'm going to stay frosting, doing frosted ones, but you're welcome to do them any way you want. One, two, three, four, 5. There we go. And this one turned out really pretty. Now we're going to go for this one. I'm staying with the frosted side, just because I tend to like matte more than shiny. And you can use either side of the pin. The rounder tip will create, you know, a more broad bead, and this one will be a little more here. I don't know if you can see the faint difference between these two. One's a little broader. Just spreads the bead out more. Yeah. Okay, that we're done with shrinking. Now we're going to assemble. So I'm going to start with this little selection here on the small side of my ear wire. And what I found with these when creating these pinwheels is to go, don't make huge stacks, adding beads and beads and beads. Your piece will wobble. And so make the stack simple. And then I did forget to tell you to, in the supplies, that you're going to need something to cut fire line, and you can cut fire line with an X-Acto knife. So I'm going to cut out about 8 inches of this and put it on my number 10 beading needle. And then I'm going to string on orange, a little orange seed bead, and I'm going to put the tail through that and the tail through the black, this little black metal bead that's so cute. And then I'm going to take both tails. I'm going to run one tail with a line on it and the other tail through this wonderful, sweet little folded sequin. And most of these components I do sell on my sites, either on my Etsy site that you can link to by my website or on my website. Sometimes I find it easier to not use a needle because of this. Okay, so then I'm going to take this tail, I'm going through the short, and when stringing this, be aware of the back of your post and what you want to see at the front of it. See, so I want this sequence at the front, so I'm making sure the post is on this back side, and I'm coming through with this tail. You may find you don't even need a beading needle because you're doing a lot of hand stringing. Now I'm going to leave this tail right here, and I'm going to add this cute sequin and another orange. And I'm going to bypass the orange, and I'm going to come all the way through my bead path, all the way through, bypass that orange, go back through that orange. Make sure you don't get your little string caught on anything. Making sure, double checking that you can see what I'm doing. Coming back up. Don't get your bead line caught on things. Coming back down through here, through the whole sequence. Coming through my whole sequence. Coming back through the whole sequence. Back through that orange. Back up through the green sequin and right around here to where I started. Okay, so you've seen me do this technique in many of my other videos. And then I'm going to pull tight, and then tie off. Okay, so I just tie off, pull tight, do a surgeon's knot that's around, and around again, pull tight, and then another surgeon's knot But what I might do is flip it over so that the knot is on this side. Right now the knot's on that side. And that'll help if there's any buildup of knot causing wonkiness. Bulk created by the knot. That'll kind of even it out. And I'll do another one. So I've did kind of 4 knots on that. And then I will cut my line. I'm not sure my beading line is cutting. So if it isn't, I'm going to look for another one or cut that in a minute. I may need to replace that or come in here like so with a better X-Acto knife. There. So we have that little cutie right there. Okay? Now, we're ready to do the other side. So we're starting our second sequence, and I've cut myself about 8 to 12 inches of fire line, and I'm going to string that on, and I'm going to do it in the same manner. I'm following the sequence that I did on this one, so I'm keeping my post back here so I know what I'm stacking and want to view on the front. And that will be first a little orange stopper bead, a little seed bead stopper bead that I'm putting on my line. And then I'm going to put it on a black bead. And then I'm going to bypass that orange bead so that it becomes a stopper bead. And give myself enough tail to work with. And then come through with both my tails, the one on the line and the one on this one through my tiny Shrinkit bead. Pulling that sequence right there. Next, I will be putting on a sequin. And both lines go through the sequin. Pulling both those lines through. And then I'm coming through the top of this hole. So this will face the top, both lines through there. There I have that. And now I'm ready to add the Shrinkit beads, and I want the shiny side of my Shrinkit to face that way and the frosted to face the back side of the earring. So I'm only going to do one line. Then I'm putting this little Heishi bead on. This green bead and a little orange bead. That's going to be my stopper bead, so we bypass the stopper bead and come back through our sequence, all the way through our sequence, all the way through our sequence. We're out here where the orange bead is. We go through that orange bead and back down through the black bead, all the way back through our sequence. Don't miss anything when we're going through here. All the way back through. Pull tight. Go through the orange bead. Go through as many times as you feel necessary. That just creates a more secure situation. I'm just going to go through the twice, and I'm meeting where my tail was. And then we're tying off as we did before. So here I am. I'm going to do a knot, and then I follow that with the surgeon's knot, pulling very tight. The surgeon's knot is the crossover. It goes around the loop twice, around that line in the hole twice. wild lines. And then I pull tight and then bring it over this side so that my knot has both sides and then I can cut. There. And we have one pair of earrings done. So cute. Okay, we've got the one pair, and then we're going to do this pair exactly the same way. The sequence that I've chosen for this is on the top, I've got this little sequence. I'll show it. And then this that's on the top of the long one right here. And then the back side is this Heishi bead and the purple and a little aqua. And it's done the same way that we did this. So I'm not going to show this because it's done the exact same way, but this is the sequence I did. See? Aqua, aqua, purple, purple, Heishi bead, Shrinkets, that's on the front, on the back side, I'm sorry, on the back side, see? And then the front side is aqua, purple, Shrinkets, and you can choose which either Shrinkets you want to use, and the sequin. So it's done the exact same way. And then this one on this side is done with, the back side is aqua, tiny seed bead, purple, sequin, and this horse-eye sequin, and then the front side is just very simple. If these little guys go through your hole, which it looks like they will, select select something like so. Okay? And I've given you extra here so you can play with it, but the big thing that I'm telling you is don't overstack. Come up too high, or it'll be like a tree in the wind. So that's how you make them. And, as I said, I'm not going to re-showcase this one because I've shown you how to do that sequence and how to tie off on here. And that's how we do our pinwheel earrings. Thanks for watching.